How about now? My phone is a piece of shit.
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can
Fantastic.
you hear me?
I can hear you now too.
Okay. Can you? All right, good. You look like you're driving, or are you pulled over?
I'm still in the parking lot at the hotel waiting for Mario.
On your way to Bruce. Have you been over there yet at all?
No, no.
If you want to talk about nooks and crannies of America, Bruce, South Dakota definitely fits the bill.
But you know what's funny is my Facebook memory showed me 11 years ago I was in Brookings. Like on this day.
On this day, 11 years ago?
Yeah, how weird is that?
That is weird. Is that the gig that we first worked together on?
No, I even thought, well, it has to be where I met Jeremy, but it was months later you and I met. Because I looked at my photos because I don't remember anything.
I think that was North Dakota.
Yeah, the irony of this whole run, Mario and I were together on March 7th back in Michigan, and March 7th, 10 years ago, he and I worked a small bar gig in Wisconsin. That's where we met. And then, yeah, I was in this area 11 years ago. So, yeah, you're in comedy enough, you're going to hit the small towns more than once.
Yeah, well, you'll love Bruce.
I'm excited for anything. We've had wonderful gigs this whole run.
What did you think of the folks in Owen?
Oh, the Hacienda?
Yes, the Hacienda.
They were awesome. Amazing people. And it was the owner's birthday, so they were extra hyped up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes for a very fun night.
We had a blast, an absolute blast.
You know, it's always fun to do comedy in places where they're starving for kick-ass entertainment.
Well, that's just it. I love comedy clubs, but I love the bar gigs that you have too, because there aren't comedy clubs, so people they show up. Everybody, like the whole town, just shows up.
Yes, you know, and you sometimes in those situations, Katrina, it can be embarrassing though when you get your show is less attended than the wedding. Somebody's cousins got wedding. So they got married, and their wedding draws way more people than your little comedy night.
Well,
but hey, barring any real celebrities, you are the celebrity.
No shit, right?
Oh, look at this, Andrea. You're going to see Andrea. You'll meet Andrea and Josh there tonight at J Street Pub, and they are stoked. The bar is almost set up and ready to go. The Pub and Grub Comedy Tour.
I'm excited. Mario, are you excited?
Yes.
Mario's excited too.
Mario's made it. You've got your wingman.
Go ahead. Yes, I've got my wingman with me.
And then I'm tuning in live to watch the World Series of Comedy from Appleton, Wisconsin.
Oh, fun.
At the Skyline Comedy Club.
Fun.
So, you guys on your way over there now?
Well, no, he jumped out of the car to take care of some personal business right quick.
I know what that means.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting another minute. I actually have to run back into my hotel room and grab my merch bag because I forgot it. But we're way early. We're only 20 minutes from the venue, and show doesn't even start till 7:30. We're just bored.
Okay, good. Well, drive around town, and then you'll have another 59 minutes to kill.
Shut up. I actually did drive around town. It was funny. First, I was looking for an art museum, and I'll walk 7 miles in an art museum, but I will not walk a mile away to park just to turn around and have to have a pass to go back and put on my car and hope I didn't get a ticket. Then I was looking for a bookstore, like a used bookstore, and it was just this little posh boutique bookstore. Then I looked for a park, and it was a children's museum, and because I don't have my kids with me, I didn't want to feel like a creeper, so I didn't go in. But I saw the whole town of Brookings.
And I know you always get awesome photos.
Yes, we will get more tonight.
You know, I love the offbeat stuff, and you have an appreciation for that as well.
I do. I found a T-Rex today. No, I did. It's fucking huge. I saw a huge ass T-Rex today.
Was it really just a Sinclair gas station?
No, not the little dino. It was a huge T-Rex at the kids' museum. I was on the other side of the fence trying to take pictures of it, hoping I didn't catch anybody's kids in the photos, so I didn't look like a creeper.
Yeah, it's like that 1950s diner that we stopped at for lunch that had all those dinosaurs in the back.
Yes. Shit, what was the name of that place?
Peggy's
Sue. Diner. Yes. Yep. That had a gorilla in the back.
All right, I'm sending another text message.
Do you remember when we saw all the cars from Cars?
Oh yes, and that was literally in the middle of nowhere, literal nooks and crannies.
Yeah,
it was a gravel road or a back.
Yeah, I did a U-turn because we were both like, we gotta take pictures.
And it was McQueen and Mater and the sheriff, I believe.
Yes, it was.
If I got that correct, it's amazing how much I remember.
Well, pictures help. There's Mater going down the street right now. All right, man, I got to run back into the hotel room, so I'm going to disconnect.
Thanks for checking in, Katrina. Have fun tonight. It's Katrina Brown with Mario Robinson. They're on the way to the J Street Pub in Bruce, South Dakota for the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour, and I am anxiously awaiting to jump in and watch the live stream for the World Series of Comedy happening in Appleton, Wisconsin tonight, the Skyline Comedy Club. I watched last night, and you can get access at VIPTicketHub.com. And Andrea, thanks for the comment. And if wherever you're watching, comment below. Let me know where you're watching from, and I will let you know when the World Series of Comedy is coming near you, or when the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour is coming near you. I like the music in the background, but it's getting a little redundant for me now. I like more of that upbeat style. And I'm going to send a text to the crew in Appleton right now, and we'll see if somebody at some point in the next, say, 15 minutes or so can jump in and give us a little behind-the-scenes look, insider preview of what's happening, what to expect, the silliness, the excitement. Oh, there it is. There it is. All right, did it. All right, the text went through. And let me see who I can't see all the comments necessarily. Here, another one came in. Hey, Tom. Good luck tonight. Knock 'em dead. That's a great place. It's Big Tom and Clinton. Oh, and shout out, by the way, also to Tim and Randy over at Boxcars Pub and Grub in Clinton. They were last night's preferred vendors. And I heard they couldn't make the show, though. Something went down at Boxcars that kept Tim focused on that. So luckily, though, there is the live stream, VIPTicketHub.com. So if you aren't there live, that's one way to check out what's going on. It's a lot of fun. It's so cool. The nation's largest touring comedy festival. And it takes place at comedy clubs all over the country. They're called Satellites. And then there is the main event in September in Las Vegas, where I am talking to you right now, safely ensconced in the Bar Comedy USA offices. Thanks, Tom. Tell him I said hi. Appreciate that. And then I hope that maybe Joe or Derek or Val or one of the crew might jump in, even if it's just from their phones, even better from their phones. And I also want to give a shout out to, you want to talk about a road dog. Holy moly. Carlin Haggerty reported that he traveled 4,100 miles last month for the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour and hit 3 borders, Florida, Miami, and Virginia. So that's some road dog. And that reminds me, I used to do about 1,000 a week for about 20 years straight. And now I miss it, but I feel a whole lot better on Monday mornings. I'll tell you that much. I did last week in Sacramento, and the comedy part was pretty easy. It's announcing the winners at the end of the show, having a lot of fun with it, making sure everything gets wrapped up and pictures get taken and the winners congratulated and everything stays organized. And that was a lot of fun, holding down the Joe spot, if you will. I can hit the Joe spot. But I'll say, man, the travel is tiring. It can be a little exhausting. It's still fun and exciting, though. Katrina Brown is still out there having a blast, going from town to town and seeing all kinds of wacky stuff, which is my favorite part of the road, is all the weirdness. You know, those strange tourist traps. Talked a little bit about that yesterday. And I also want to grab the photos. Here it is. Let's see if I can bring up the photo of last night's winners, who will be moving on from the wild card to Thursday, Friday, tonight, or Friday, depending on where they wound up in the placing, to continue on for the Saturday semifinals and finals. And if you're in Wisconsin, I know I have a lot of people in Wisconsin besides Tom and Tim and Randy and all the folks in Clinton that watch this. And so if that is you, go to VIPTicketHub.com and get tickets to go see the World Series of Comedy live in Appleton at Skyline Comedy Club. And in addition to that, go to BarComicTix.com and get tickets to see Pub and Grub Comedy Tour events, where that also features a lot of performers that are in the World Series of Comedy do Pub and Grub Comedy Tour shows, the bar gigs. And we do them. We pack the house, and the energy is hot, and the crowds are very appreciative. And in some cases, it's not always pristine and ideal. It's more like comedy boot camp. But then when you get back into a comedy club where everything is set up and runs, for the most part, ideal, it's never perfect. All right, I'm going to do a screenshot. Oh, that's not working either. Okay, let me see if I can get it from Facebook or email. And then I'm going to is this it? I'm going to add a picture of the winners last night. Here we go. Now, let me see if we can make this work. Hit the like button if you're still with me. Hit the like button. Let me know where you're watching from. I'll send you some tour updates. Let you know what's going on. And if these are fun to do, and if you like watching them, then I'll keep doing them. Even if you're not, I think I will anyway, because why go through all this work to set it up just to not keep up with it? And it'll get better and better as we go anyway. Where would I add a photo? Oh. There we go. There are the winners. Milton Wiley, Brooks Tawil, and Tori J came in first place last night, the Wednesday wild card. So congratulations. Shout out to Milton, Brooks, and Tori. And I look forward to seeing your sets later on this week. Otherwise, any more comments here? We got some comments. Hey, Eddie. Bad Bob here. First time caller, long time fan. Eddie Nickerson. I'm the real Bad Bob. There's so much going through my head right now, Eddie. I don't know what story to tell. There's so many. Humpy was on yesterday, by the way. I'll ask you, Eddie, if you're still watching, type below if you had to give some comedy advice. Like, you can only say one piece of comedy advice. What would it be? Other than make sure that you work with somebody as talented as Jeremy Dog Danley. Other than that, what would you say? If you could only tell someone one thing on how to be funny, Eddie Nickerson, put it in the comment. I want to hear what you had to say. You would actually be a good guest for this because we could talk about old school style comedy where we had, like I mentioned yesterday, learned on the streets. It had to be very quick and wacky and wild. That was the only way to keep those crowds' attention when you're out there on the street. You know what I mean? And it's super exciting and a lot of fun to, yeah, turn your mic off when you go backstage. That's a good one for sure. That was the original hot mic moment. Imagine if there was YouTube and social media back then, dude. We would have been canceled immediately. I don't even know if I want to tell the stories right. I mean, if I even tell the stories right now, it'll probably get all this erased. Probably not, but you only got one person watching. It's you right now. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Poor Brad. Poor Brad. Okay, here's what happened. Basically, I got really frustrated in the middle of the show, and I left my microphone on, and I said some pretty insulting things backstage over the microphone. Well, that was still left on. That went over the loudspeakers for not only the rest of the crew to hear and the person who I was insulting, but also the entire audience to hear as well. And if I remember right, Eddie, that actually probably was the funniest part of that show. Well, thanks for watching, man. I'll be back on tomorrow at the same time, and I'll probably be doing this most of the year as we bring the World Series of Comedy all over the country. We will be in Massillon, Ohio next week. I forgot to mention that to Katrina. That's where Katrina Brown is from. And so that was one of the things I thought would be fun to bring her on at the beginning and to be a guest as part of all this because she's also out there headlining the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour tonight and tomorrow in Gillette, Wyoming. Tonight in Bruce, South Dakota. Tomorrow in Gillette, Wyoming. Next week, the 20th through the 23rd at Crockpot's Comedy Club. It's the World Series of Comedy in Massillon, Ohio. After that, there will be a week of recording comedians that will be on Sirius XM, and that'll be at the Punchline in Atlanta, Georgia. The week after that, I'll be headed to Sarasota, Florida as well, and we'll do some of this live from there remotely in Sarasota at the World Series of Comedy at McCurdy's Comedy Theater, and then stick around for another week after that for recording also at McCurdy's. We go to Fort Wayne, we go to Plano, so I'm stoked for that one, Plano, because that will be a recording week for Sirius XM, and I will be involved in that, and that's what I'm working on right now. A kick-ass, solid, tight 10 minutes. And then I'm going to see Humpy and hopefully Mad Mike and all them as well. Shout out to all the guys from Shenanigans, Eddie, and poor Brad. Poor Brad probably watched this. And that's just what I'm going to call him for now, poor Brad. And then I'll also be going to Phoenix and Tacoma in June. And then, of course, there's the main event in September. So there'll be a lot of fun stuff to report along the way this year. And I am stoked. So if you haven't done so already, you got to watch the live stream. You never know what could happen. Last night was the wild card, and it got wild. And if you missed it, you can still get tickets. VIPTicketHub.com. If you're from Wisconsin, you can head to Appleton this week. There's still seats available. There's still tickets available. They're going fast. So you can go to VIPTicketHub.com. And if you want to catch small town bar comedy in the nooks and crannies of America, go to barcomictix.com for the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour, where we also feature a lot of the comedians that you see on the World Series of Comedy. That's going to be when I head there in May 15th through the 18th. One of those nights, I think I know which night it is. I don't want to announce it because you just don't know for sure. I got to be flexible. You know how it is in show business. Shit changes all the time. The May 15th through the 18th, I'll be in Plano. That's about 45 minutes away from Arlington. Well, that'll be when I'm hanging out with Humpy. And it'd be awesome if you can make your way down there, dude. Not to put the pressure on. But that'd be cool. I'll be at the House of Comedy for the World Series of Comedy recording for Sirius XM. And then we got about 3.5 minutes left. I'm going to wrap this thing up, and then I got to jump in and get ready to go. We're judging comedians tonight. That is actually very difficult, especially a lot of them are really, they're so good. And sometimes, you know, a comedian can crush it one night and have the exact same material, the exact same energy, the exact same type of enthusiasm from a crowd. And for whatever reason, the flow just isn't there. It's just so dynamic. And I think that's part of the fun. And you just never quite know what to expect. And even when the comedy isn't that great, it's still pretty fucking funny. I think that in my opinion, you know, even when a comedian is bombing, I still think that's funny. Like, what's funnier than that? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, it's awkward for a lot. I think that's funny. I think it's funny when you're supposed to be getting laughs, you're not getting laughs. I don't know what could be funnier than that. Especially because I like watching people feel awkward. So maybe it's just me, but I think even when comedy is bad, it's still pretty good. It's all great because they first had to go through so many video submissions. As a matter of fact, I just have a text message that came in. I have 22 to watch before Sunday. I've got to do some notes. I've got to give some critiques. I've got to give some evaluations. One of them, I'm going to make sure to let people know to turn their microphones off when they go backstage, lest they insult their fellow crew members and or offend the audience. You don't want that. Well, I don't mind offending the audience all the time, but you probably don't want to do that when you're in a competition like the World Series of Comedy. That's okay for the amusement park. That's okay for the family-friendly stuff. Especially when you're playing a bad guy anyway. That's why I like that. Like, you can't really get onto a comedy club stage and start just being the heel. But you can when we did that, right? You could go out there and be a bad guy and a provocateur and be a heel, be like a bad guy wrestler. WWE style. Okay, guys. I know that if I jump off early, that's the exact time somebody from Skyline is going to hop on. One of the crew there. We'll make it work hopefully this week. If not, someday soon. Thanks for watching. This is Dog. The pregame half-hour happy hour sponsored by our big one, Dr. Squatch. I'll be back again tomorrow if all is good, or same time or as close as possible. Take care.